Welcome back to Clean with Kate, and now we're on to baby step day 23. So this is a really nice one. You're going to get to work on your control journal a bit more. So this baby step involves building your afternoon routine. So your afternoon routine is the routine that you do, say when the kids come in from school, or when you get in from work, or if you work from home and you haven't got school-age kids, then it's sort of a mid-afternoon routine. I tend to do my afternoon, because my children have now grown up and I work from home, I do my afternoon routine, usually mid-afternoon. I quite often feel a bit of a slump in my energy levels around 3 p.m, so I find that's quite a good time to get up and do my afternoon routine. So you have to make it work for you, whatever fits best into your day, then your afternoon routine. It's not a huge routine, but it is an important routine. So the first thing you need to do is, you need a new page for your control journal, and at the top of the page, you're going to write afternoon routine. And then you're going to think of things that you need to put on your afternoon routine, because it is specific for you. So I think the thing we all need to put on our afternoon routine is what's for dinner. Or you may need to put start dinner. So you need to think, before everybody's ravenously hungry, you need to think, what are we going to eat? And you need to make a start on dinner. And the other things that I've put on my afternoon routine are reboot laundry, because I find if I can do that in the afternoon, then I'm not going to bed thinking, oh my goodness, I've left the washing in, or I've left the laundry in the tumble dryer. I've also got drink water on there, because I find I tend to get quite thirsty in the afternoon, and also check my calendar, because I sometimes just need to check what am I supposed to be doing later this week. Sometimes I have to put post-it notes up to remind me to do things like the dog groomer. So that's the afternoon routine. Yours may look very different to that. Flylady says if you want some suggestions for what to put on your afternoon routine, if you go onto the Flylady website, there is a page called Control Journal Step on Routines. So that she will give you some ideas for things that you might want to put on your afternoon routine. You might want to take your dogs for a walk. I quite often like to stretch my legs in the afternoon. Sometimes I just walk the dogs around the garden, but it's good to get the dogs out for a bit of fresh air. So everybody's afternoon routine is different. Yours may say pick up the children from school, or take my children to swimming. There's also, our routines vary. So make your afternoon routine work for you, what you have to do. So what else does Flylady say? I think that's it actually on there. But I'm going to run through what we're supposed to be doing each day, and now we're going to add the afternoon routine in. And then we're going to talk about menu planning, because menu planning, what's for dinner, is really important in the Flylady system, so that you're not panicking, you're not rushing out to the supermarket at 6 o'clock at night because you've got nothing to feed the kids. I've been there. Or popping into the supermarket on the way home from work, buying pasta and sauce. Sorry kids, I did that quite a few times, didn't I? Luckily they did like pasta. But you know what I mean, not ordering pizza because there's nothing to eat. So that having a meal plan and knowing what you're going to give your family for dinner is really important. And I can share some really good tips for meal planning that I've used very successfully, so that we always know what's for dinner now, thank goodness. Anyway, I'm going to run through what you should be doing. So the morning routine: get up and make your bed. Get dressed to lace up shoes, fix your hair and face. Recognise negative voices in your head and change them. Reboot your laundry. Flylady's added what's for dinner to the morning routine. So that's so interesting. I haven't actually got it on my morning routine, but it's not a bad idea. Think about it earlier in the day, because if you haven't got any food in and you're going out, then you may be able to pick up a little grocery shop while you're out. Then she's put out your hotspots for 2 minutes, do a 5-minute room rescue, pick a room, set your timer and go, and stop after 5 minutes and get on with your morning routine. Spend 15 minutes decluttering each day. Look at your control journal and your post-it notes to remind you. And if you've subscribed to the emails, read them and then delete. And your afternoon routine, all Flylady's put on hers is start dinner. And as I say, I've shown you mine, but yours may be very different. All our afternoon routines will vary depending whether we work in the home or outside the home, or have school-age children or pets that we need to walk. And then the before bed routine: keep your sink shining, lay out your clothes for tomorrow, put in a load of laundry. Flylady's added that. So I don't tend to put my laundry on at night. I tend to put the dishwasher on though. I have added start dishwasher to my evening or afternoon routine. I don't like to do it before bed. I prefer to do it in the late afternoon or early evening after dinner. And I tend not to put laundry in at night. I tend to try and get that in first thing in the morning. But sometimes I have to put empty washing machines or put stuff in the tumble dryer. So check laundry is on my evening routine. Put out a hotspot. Look at your control journal checklist. Just make sure you've remembered to do everything. And then go to bed at a decent hour. Whatever time you've decided is your bedtime. Try and stick to it each day and get a consistent bed routine. I've had a pretty consistent bedtime now for, golly, probably 20 years, probably since I started the Flylady system, to be honest. And I have a very consistent bedtime and also have a very consistent getting up time. And I tend to get up early. I get up early every day of the week. I find if I lie in on the weekend, it tends to throw me out of kilter. I did lie in quite a bit over Christmas, much to my husband's appreciation. But I did find it then was very hard to get back into getting up early. So I find generally it's best just to keep sticking to the same bedtime and the same getting up time. It works. I found that works best for me anyway. So I'm going to talk about menu planning. So Flylady's tip is, she says there's nothing worse than standing in front of the refrigerator at 6 p.m. trying to figure out what you're going to cook for dinner. In order to relieve this daily stress, plan your menus for a week and write them on your calendar. This way, when someone asks what's for dinner, we've all been there. This way you can show them where to look, so they can look on the calendar. Also, it puts it in, you're looking at your calendar every day, several times a day. It triggers you that you need to buy the ingredients for the meal. She also says, start each meal with a sink full of hot soapy water, as this makes cleaning up a breeze when you clean as you cook. My husband's the cook in our house. I have been trying to encourage him to wash up as he goes along, but it's taken a while. We're not quite there yet, but when I was doing all the cooking, when he was working outside the house and I was in charge of all the cooking, I did this, and it is a game changer. If you have an empty dishwasher and a sink full of soapy water, you can wash most of the dishes from the meal preparation as you go along. And having an empty dishwasher means as soon as everybody's finished eating, the dishes go straight in the dishwasher, and it's just easy. So I'm trying to get into that routine with the dishwasher, that I have an empty dishwasher usually every morning, and then it fills up during the day, and then it can go on in the evening. Obviously, if you've got a bigger family at home, you may have to alter that routine, but it takes us at least a day usually to fill the dishwasher, because there just being the two of us at home now. Right, so meal planning. That's what I was going to talk about, meal planning. So meal planning, when the children were little, the way I did it is I had a book. I actually used my control journal. I did it in a loose leaf, and every day I wrote the meals that we had for that week as we had them. I wrote them down. And then the next week I did the same, and the next week I did the same. And I did that for about 6 weeks. And by the end of that 6 weeks, I had 6 weeks worth of meal plans. And they were all meals that I knew I could cook. I could get the ingredients easily, and I was confident doing them. There's nothing that fancy in there. It was really simple stuff like spaghetti bolognese. And then a couple of days later, we'd use the leftover bolognese for lasagna or chili, or we'd have baked potatoes with various fillings. So it wasn't fancy cordon bleu cooking. It was basic mum cooking. But it worked, and roast chicken, and I had my favourite meals, that macaroni cheese, that I was good at cooking. So you get the idea, and by having that rotating menu, I just rotated through them. So we had a reasonable amount of variety, but I could cook these on autopilot because I didn't have to look at a recipe book. I knew how to cook them. But now what we do, we actually get a meal delivery box. So we used to get HelloFresh, but now we've been on Green Chef, which is owned by the same company for quite a while, and that's worked out really well for us. It means that I subscribe for 4 meals for 4 people, and then it means we have leftovers, and each meal feeds us for 2 meals, and that works really well for us. If you're a large family, it might not work as well. It works for sort of smaller families and couples. I think it works very well. And you get a lot of variety, and you pick your menus. I pick them a month in advance, so I always know what's for dinner. And then occasionally we'll have eaten all the meals, and then we just wing it. We make something up, or we might go out. But it's rare that we don't know exactly what's for dinner now. And that is just a game changer. The meal planning is really important in the Flylady system. And either do it the way I did it when the children were little, when I was cooking for 5 people or 6 people quite often, with either grandparents or visiting children, And I used to cook lots of nice simple things I could cook in bulk and that would feed us for several different meals just with a few tweaks. And that worked really, really well as well. Anyway, if you have any questions about the afternoon routine or about meal planning, please pop them in comments. I'd love to hear from you. Or if you have any tips for meal planning, how you manage it, please also share them. We'd love to hear them. It's always good to learn new things. It's amazing. You don't know what you don't know. Anyway, thank you for joining me for Baby Step Day 23. I hope you're enjoying the baby step videos and the cleaning videos. If you are, please like, comment and subscribe. It's really appreciated. And if you have any cleaning tips or house management tips that you'd like to share, I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.